Hello guys and dolls, and welcome back for another skincare Sunday. For this week's video I went on the Twitter and I asked you guys what you would want to see a skincare video about clay cleansers, or if you wanted to see a video about empties. And it was about 50-50 with clay cleansers coming slightly ahead. And every time I say clay cleansers I feel like it's a weird alliteration. So for today's video, I am, as always when I make my skincare Sundays, wearing no makeup, but I'm also wearing this super cool jacket that I'm borrowing from Gwenny. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm gonna have a hard time sending this one back. I'm going to have to, because it's way out of my budget. It's from a brand called, I believe, Johnny Was is the name of the brand. Even the tag is like embroidered. I mean, this is like some fancy pants stuff. There's embroidery there. There's actually embroidery on like the back seam, and it has pockets. What? I almost want to like justify it and then wear it every single time I do a skincare Sunday, but I'm like, yeah, it's like $200. You're not doing that. So anyway, we are moving on. Speaking of expensive stuff, in this video today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some very expensive clay cleansers along with some that are a little more affordable. I love skincare. There's no big surprise there, but I also really like the idea that you can get really great products for an inexpensive price, and when I do spend a lot of money on skincare, I want it to be worth my while. So the more expensive ones I'm going to be sharing with you today are really truly fantastic, and ones that I can really kind of get behind the higher price on them because they're very like bespoke and perfect and handcrafted, kind of like this jacket. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to start out with my very first clay cleanser that I use, which is one of the least expensive ones. So this is the Pixi Skin Treats Glow Mud Cleanser with glycolic acid and aloe vera. It's $18 for 4.57 ounces, so a pretty good price. The star ingredients of this are aloe, or as my southern grandmother would say, aloe, safflower oil, I can't say anything today apparently, diatomaceous earth, which I'm also probably mispronouncing, squalane, avocado oil, hazelnut oil, wheat germ oil, a whole bunch of oils. This one actually has the most like chemically ingredients list, but it also has a lot of really great natural stuff. The Pixi skincare line is one of my absolute favorite skincare lines at the drugstore. This one definitely has like a clay-like texture, which is interesting because there's not a ton of actual clay in this. This one for me is interesting. I feel like if you, because of that glycolic acid that it has in it, and the glycolic acid is pretty high up on the ingredients list, so if you leave it on your face, you'll know. You will know that you have used the glycolic acid. It can actually make my skin, which is slightly sensitive, sting a little bit. So it's not my favorite to use all the time, or like to leave on as a treatment, you know, but I do really like using this as a cleanser, especially after I've done like a first cleanse with a makeup remover. Use this at night, or I use this in the morning, or when I haven't worn any makeup. Like I'm not wearing any makeup today, so I would definitely wash my face with this tonight. It's quite lovely. For 18 bucks, it's definitely a great clay cleanser that I would recommend. There's another cleanser out there that I've tried which also claims to have clay in it. This is the First Aid Beauty Skin Rescue Deep Cleanser with red clay. The amount of clay in this is really quite negligible, and unlike the rest of these, this one foams up quite a bit when you use it. So for me, I'm not including that in this video as a quote clay cleanser. However, as just a regular like gel, slightly foamy cleanser, I've used this and I like it quite a bit. In fact, I use this little guy when I travel. This is a mini size of it, but for the purpose of this video, it's not technically included, but I have mentioned it. Yes, it's quite good, especially if you have acne prone skin or oily skin. This one I think you'd really like. So moving on to some more clay cleansers, we're actually going to be getting into the expensive-ish territory here. So this next one is from Dr. Jart. This is the Trans Foam Clay. Comes in a little tube like this. Mine is broken, and I will explain why in just a moment. This is interesting. This is a cleanser that can also be used as a mask, and it does slightly foam up. This one is $15 for 1.7 ounces. So this is definitely on the smaller side. They also have like a little like set that comes with the 3 different versions of the Trans Foam Clay cleanser mask hybrid thingies, which are all the same size, the 1.7 ounces, but it's $35. So that's a little bit better bang for your buck. I also kind of like that for a high-end brand, $15 isn't so bad. Even if it is kind of small, it's great for travel. So for me, yeah, it's not the best deal on the market, but you know what? Most of this other stuff I'm going to talk about isn't either, so you know, whatever. This one, the star ingredients would be hydrogen mineral water, French green clay, which is there to cleanse and exfoliate and purify and all that nice neat stuff. There is the Nymphaea elbaflower, which tones the skin, and lemongrass, which helps to control sebum. I found this one particularly intriguing because it's a mask that becomes a cleanser. You can just use it as a cleanser, you can just use it as a mask. What I like to do is first thing in the morning, put this on my face and let it kind of sit in, and then I hop in the shower, and instead of rinsing it off immediately, I kind of, you know, after I've let it dry as a mask, to be clear, kind of give it like 10 minutes. Get in the shower, the steam works its magic while I'm washing my hair and body and all that stuff, and then when I go to rinse it, it foams up, it cleans me, and for a clay cleanser and for a clay mask for that matter, I feel like this leaves my skin feeling the most balanced. It doesn't make my skin feel overtly dry. It is really great when I have acne. In fact, I've even just like spot put it on zits. It's not necessarily for that, but it works quite well. It's sort of drying them up without drying them out, if that makes sense. Like, it's not overly drying, and I love it. I think it's a really cool product. I'd be interested to try the other versions, the pink, I think, and there's a white one. Now, as to why my tube is broken, so this was actually sent to me as PR from Dr. Jart, and they also sent this cool little gadget that's meant to go on the end of tubes to help squeeze out the excess product. Now, I am overzealous, and I was like, let's just, and I squeezed it way too hard, and I popped it. So this is totally my fault. I still think that this is like a cool gadget that I will try using on my toothpaste next. But be careful with this kind of thing. When you're using tools with great power comes great responsibility. Please don't ruin your beauty products. Next we get to the Sunday Riley ceramics. Oh, this just has water from my shower and just sprayed me in the face. Okay, cool. This is the Sunday Riley ceramic slip clay cleanser. If that is not some alliteration for you. This is $45 for 4.2 ounces, and I have to tell you guys, I went into this cleanser with kind of a negative opinion, and I don't really entirely know why. Could be because it's expensive, but some of these other ones that I used are kind of, in fact, this is the least expensive of the holy crap expensive ones. So get ready. This one, I don't know why I had this like negative, maybe I'd read a review and somebody didn't like it, but I kind of like bought it to try it and expected to hate it, and I love it. This is actually my favorite of all of these. This is a non-foaming gel cleanser, and it leaves, sorry, I have notes. If you notice me like looking down and reading, it's because I am. It's a non-foaming gel cleanser. So what I like is that it doesn't strip my face, because my skin is very sensitive. I have like little snowflake skin that if I overstrip it, I get acne. If I don't clean it well enough, I get acne. And so I really got to find products that have that balance. And even sometimes this will sting my skin. So I have to be a little bit careful with this. Probably because I also use a lot of other glycolic products, but I'm not quitting those. So for me, this is quite nice. This one's actually slated more for normal to oily skin. When I first got this in January, I didn't like it. I don't know, I kind of used it very like sparingly then, because I knew that my skin was super dry, so I was not the target audience for this. But as we've moved into those warmer months, my skin tends to be oilier. I sweat more and things like that, so I need a little bit more vigorous cleaning. And so this has been really awesome. So some of the star ingredients of this are French green clay, Moroccan Rasoul clay, neroli, and vitamin C. Apparently, according to the label, it also has neroli. Oh wait, did I just say that? I did. Black pepper, frankincense, jasmine, and sandalwood. Now, the smell of this is quite polarizing. There are some people who, like myself, think it smells absolutely divine and like a spa experience, and there's a lot of people who like truly hate it. For me, I think maybe like the black pepper is kind of off-putting, and maybe the frankincense. I think it smells great. I love it. I thoroughly enjoy this. Highly recommend. Use it both morning and night. love. The Dr. Jart and the Pixie ones definitely feel like clay. That one feels like a gel cleanser that has clay in it, even though it has quite a bit of clay in it because you can feel it, and it definitely works wonders on your skin. Just something to keep in mind. Okay guys, this next product. Whew. May Lindstrom, the Clean Dirt. I like how all of her products are like the blank blank. Like the next one I'm going to talk about is the Honey Mud. Like, it's official, okay? The Clean Dirt is a really interesting product in that it's powder. It's not like a formulation. Well, it is a formulation, but it's not. It doesn't have any liquids in it. So you actually have to mix it with something else. So this is $70 for 6.7 ounces. I told you we were going to get expensive. So this is definitely, you know, your high-end luxury shishi face wash. Actually, and really in my opinion, it's less of a face wash and more of a treatment, and we'll get to that in just a second. I want to let you guys know about some of these star ingredients in this. White halloysite clay, red Moroccan clay, sea salt, ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, and there's just like a whole bunch of other stuff, which we will get to in just a sec. This is really interesting. I mentioned that it's a powder. It's kind of cool because you can actually mix this with water. You can mix it with something like milk to get that whole lactic acid thing going. So you can make this such a cool treatment just based on whatever liquid. You can mix it even with an oil. I think that that would be really cool to mix it with like coconut oil or something. So this one is more like a scrub and a treatment than a cleanser for me. When I mix it with water, it creates kind of like a foam, and this foam is kind of gritty. And so as I'm putting it on my face, I can feel it exfoliating, and some of that is all of the spices. And this, by the way, is like a who's who of spices. There's cinnamon, there's nutmeg, there's turmeric, rock cacao, clove, I mean, whew, you name it, it's in here. So, and it smells like fall. Oh my god, when you use this, it's such like an ethereal experience of like you just feel transported to the cooler months or to Christmas or to fall or whatever, and it's a lovely, lovely experience. It has a warming effect because of those spices, and it just feels like this luxury experience. That sounds really hoity-toity, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it doesn't make sense to you, but maybe that sounds like heaven to you and you're super excited about this like I am. As I mentioned, it stays kind of grainy, so it gives me a little bit of exfoliation. My skin feels incredible after I've used this. I wouldn't use it every day for two reasons. Because it is a physical exfoliant, it would kind of irritate my skin if I used it all the time. But more importantly, because it has all of those yummy spices in it, it stains my skin. I think particularly the turmeric is staining me. And if I'm not super duper careful when I'm rinsing it off, it'll also stain my towels, my hands, everything. So this is something that I use sparingly, and I use it at night. So usually it's like my Sunday night cleanser. I love this stuff. It's just my favorite. Like, I just even enjoy smelling it and taking a whiff. Oh, it smells so good. Now, the final cleanser that I have for you today is, again, a cleanser and treatment hybrid. So this is the Honey Mud from May Lindstrom. And I gotta tell you guys, I have like a crush on the May Lindstrom line. I use a lot of products from it. This is kind of my shishi fancy pants skincare line that I tend to gravitate towards, that and also Sunday Riley, because the products are effective. And in the case of May Lindstrom, like, this is the epitome of perfection to me. Everything is handcrafted with the highest level ingredients. You actually have like the day that something was made on the label, which is really cool. These little bottles that they come in are a like special kind of glass that blocks light, so your products stay good for a really long time without having to put a ton of preservatives in them. You can actually reuse the little jars, which is pretty cool. And I love it. I love it. I love it. To me, that type of thing where it's like handcrafted and it's, you know, nothing was compromised in the making this. They only use the highest quality ingredients. The bottle itself is made out of this special glass that blocks light, and I know that that packaging itself is very expensive. I mean, it's expensive, I'm not gonna lie. This is like a special thing I bought myself. Luckily, Beautylish has this thing where you can actually like spread out the purchase of something over 3 months, so I didn't have to swallow it all at once, but damn, that's expensive. I just realized that is a Kathleen Lights thing. Anyway, so like the Clean Dirt, these for me are more like treatment cleansers. Yes, you can totally use them to wash your face. They will clean your face. But to not use them as masks is to not get all of the yummy benefits in this. And speaking of yummy, okay, let's talk about the star ingredients in this little guy. So we've got honey, raw honey, white hyalocite clay, macadamia nut oil, cacao oil, sweet orange oil, ylang ylang oil, vanilla oil, cedarwood oil, frankincense, myrrh, and the kitchen sink. This really has a little bit of everything, and when I tell you that you will want to eat this, what I'm saying is you will want to eat this. It looks like pudding, which is kind of, oh god, it smells so good. I mean, just from that description of the oils in it, you can get an idea that this stuff smells simply heavenly. The honey in it is really, it's such a, honey in general is really good for your skin. It's a great humectant, and it's also, it's good for wounds in some way, which is escaping me because it's extremely hot here, so I'm actually surprised I've been as articulate in this video as I have been, or maybe I haven't been and I just think that I have been. This I just love using, and it leaves my skin feeling super hydrated and just yummy. Like, I know it sounds like so weird because I've talked about all these food grade ingredients, but it literally does leave your skin smelling so good. Like, I'm like, Mikey, smell my cheek, smell my cheek, smell my cheek, because it smells like, my dog tries to lick my face every time after I've used it. This one for me is the one that I would actually recommend as a like mud type mask for people who have very dry or sensitive skin, because it's got all these beautiful oils in it. It's got this really great formula where it doesn't, you know, when you use like a clay mask, it gets sort of dry and tight. This doesn't do that. This kind of gets sticky because of the honey, and so like the honey prevents the clay from getting too dry, and the clay prevents the honey from being too sticky. It's the perfect balance. You can feel it when it starts to dry. It feels awesome. You rinse it off and you're so happy. I don't know if I'd use this straight up as a cleanser. I think this is really expensive to use just as a purely as a cleanser. I like using this as a mask. I've used it a couple times a week since I've got it, which was actually only a week ago. So basically I've had this for a week and I'm already pimping it out. To be fair, I'm letting you guys know, full disclosure, I haven't used it all that long, but I did have friends over on Saturday night, and we were like, hey guys, let's do a mask, and I felt like very 7th grade sleepover party. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Let me know if you think that I should keep this. I'm gonna rent it for a couple extra days. I don't know, I can't buy this. Oh, it's so pretty. Anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video. Remember to be vintage or tacky, just be our own kind of beautiful. See you, bye.